Gentlemen, it's 6:30, so I'd like to call this regularly scheduled meeting of the Finance Committee for the Common Council of the City of Hudson to order. First order of business is discussion possible action on minutes from November 17th. Is there any changes or additions?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Discussion, possible action on claims. You have the claims in front of you. You received the amount. I don't think anything's changed since there's one on the sheet today for $580,295.88. I'll move for approval.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Discussion, possible action on authorization for mayor and administrator to approve 2014 vouchers and invoice. We do this every year for Devin and I to approve any invoices that come in that have to be paid prior to the end of the year, since we don't have another council meeting scheduled after the 15th.
Correct. And there's a 4-week gap between meetings just because of the calendar.
So is there a motion?
The only comment I have on that is, should there be an end to this? Like, should it end January 31st, or?
It's only for, well, it'd be the next, you'd have approval at the first council meeting in January, the January 12th.
January 12th, yes.
So that would be,
So this approval ends January 12th?
and it's only for 2014 vouchers, so nothing for 2015.
Okay.
Yep.
Move to approve.
Is
Second.
there a second? Discussion? I think it said that. Yep. All in favor?
Aye.
Item 5, discussion possible action on hot air affair, special events permit, and request for insurance reduction. As you can see there, I think this is, we're asking for whether to approve the issuance of a special event permit. We've done this in the last 4 or 5 years, and we've reduced the insurance, and they have a certificate of insurance there that is $1 million, $2 million, $1 million per occurrence and $2 million per aggregate. Nancy, you have anything else you'd like to add?
I just wanted to make sure that you noticed that that certificate of insurance is going to be expiring, but they're working on getting a renewal with the same amounts, but it also needs to be reviewed by the city attorney for the endorsement, right?
Okay. Go ahead.
Under the new ordinance, it's not actually a reduction, it's the range now in the
Okay.
ordinance from $1 million to $3 million, so their insurance certificate. You can raise it up to $3 million, but the million.
It's not required to, we're not reducing it, we're
No.
accepting it.
Correct.
Okay.
I'll move we approve contingent on the updated insurance requirement that,
One of the problems you're going to have, not a problem, but you probably aren't going to get one until right before the 15th of January, because it expires on the 15th, right? Did she,
When is the
We're also
event?
working on
changing the
They
expiration date?
Yeah, so that we wouldn't run into that
The event is
situation.
in February,
Oh, okay.
so, this insurance certificate, we'll get a new one right before the event, I would assume.
Yeah, and we need to have it at least 10 days before
Right.
the event.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, any other discussion on this? All those in favor?
aye.
Okay, discussion possible action on 2015 service rate increase for St. Clair EMS. Kim, is Kim here? Chief, what's a good word today?
I think we just need your approval on these. It went to commission last month, just to do an 8% increase just on our transport rates for 2015. Just to get us back up to where we need to. We haven't done rate increases for a couple of years now. We contacted the billing company as well to make sure that we weren't too high. We wanted to make sure that we were still good, especially with insurance companies and such, and we're actually very competitive with our rates. So just bringing them up for 2015 in hopes that we don't have to do another significant increase now for a while.
What is the Medicare reimbursement, or Medicare reimbursement for a senior?
I don't think we've actually heard back.
What
For
what is it now, roughly?
$250 usually.
Okay,
So unfortunately, not too much, and no matter what, the Medicare is going to pay what Medicare pays, and there's
Yep.
no way we're going to be able to adjust that by any means. This
Nope.
is for all the other insurances then.
And actually Medicaid's substantially less than that.
Really?
Yeah, I think we get about 20 cents, 19, 20 cents on a dollar billed.
Chief, what does this impact the two new paramedics that we approved?
The EMTs.
EMTs, yeah.
As far as,
Does it cover the balance or no?
we'll find out.
So we're gonna have to go,
The
you're
budget
saying
that
no,
was presented with these rates.
Yep, with these rates. So the hopes that some of it would cover it, but obviously the intent wasn't to just cover it for that reason, just to get those positions. But
Randy, if I might,
Yeah.
if you look at the status quo, the wages went up by $168,000 this year. This increase will produce gross about $128,000. So net after adjustments and write-offs, we're likely going to get maybe 60-some thousand back. So really, you know, the net for the year, if you look at what steady state would have been versus the wage adjustment plus this, we're going to be down $100,000 roughly.
okay, so why wouldn't, I know these step increments, we're gonna have to come back and ask for another increase then
for,
to cover the next budget cycle? Am I
The
wrong?
discussion was potentially asking municipalities, which they would have to discuss
Yep.
next year.
the per capita was also gonna go up for 2015, but, or not 2015, 2016.
Okay,
So, and we haven't done a per capita increase for 2 or 3 years now, so we knew it was coming around, we just weren't gonna do it this year. We wanted to get the rates back up to where they needed to be first to stay competitive, and then go from there.
so the per capita, Neil, would offset the rest of the cost?
I think that's what
Top of the
that's
year.
what the commission's hope was in doing this. That remains to be seen, but I mean, a lot of this with the billing and, what the insurance companies will pay you, I think that's why I believe the commission wanted to get about 6 months into this to look at that and to make a recommendation.
Okay.
And I think that recommendation is appropriate mid-year, simply because, all the communities have to get into their budget cycles, August, September-ish.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, comments? I'll move to approve. Is there a second?
Second?
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Kim. Discussion and possible action of transfer of unspent fund from capital funds project to stormwater fund.
When the Buckeye Street project was approved, there was a transfer out of stormwater to help cover the cost of this, and the project came under budget, correct, Neil?
That's correct. Based upon what's appropriated, and I don't think there are any additional change orders, there's about $67,000 that would be available to repay to the stormwater fund.
So this basically would just move it back to stormwater fund then for other projects.
So moved.
Second. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Discussion and possible action on purchasing parking meters for the new parking stalls on First Street. Mr. Morissette.
We talked about the meters. We are kind of at this point abandoning the kiosk idea. Marty, you want to step up to the podium and answer? Because I think you were going to find out the full prices on the remaining.
Well, you should have it in your packet there, because the committee recommended going with the refurbished meters. I got an updated quote. It works out to be $165.40 per meter, where if you were to get brand-new parking meters, you're looking anywhere from $375 to $714 per meter.
Per meter.
Per meter, so that's a big savings. The company does have them. We've ordered from this company in the past. That's where we have most of our meters from. So it won't take us long.
Is that the meter products, is that correct?
It's the same meters that we're getting right now, the Eagles.
Which company is it, though?
The refurb,
Meter product,
Meter Products Company, Inc.,
New Jersey.
from New Jersey, correct. It's the same one we've been ordering meters from for quite a while. They can get that shipment here, and we're looking at it right around $7,800, just a little over.
What do we have left in the parking fund? You have,
I
don't have
have
that?
no, I do have that handy. At the end of this year, after paying for all the improvements on First Avenue, at a minimum, we're going to have about $66,000.
Okay. Okay.
And this is about $7,680.
Yep. All right.
I don't know if you wanted to hear the reasoning why we abandoned the kiosk, but Mr. Vanzel
Go
can
ahead.
certainly fill you in on that. The operational cost was not,
Yeah, but you have to pay a yearly cost,
Yeah.
and also you pay credit card fees for the kiosk, and as a result of that, it's a continuous recurring cost for a kiosk.
Well, we don't charge enough. I mean, if we're to use this.
we brought that up, but
Yeah,
I mean, if we wanted to use this, just the continuing operation
charge
costs
more
were.
for your parking.
Yep,
But the other issue became, with Passport parking, we have actually got a kiosk. You
Yep.
don't have to go to a meter with
Right.
Passport parking, so there's no sense in spending $10,000 to $15,000 for a kiosk that only covers a limited number of stalls. And so financially, it made no sense.
so I asked where Rich was when I was talking to him, this Rich, about this at the meeting. Because that didn't sound like him, that's a joke, Al.
so, have we had any reports, Chief, from Passport Parking?
I haven't produced any, but I have seen, we've had some people come in that have gotten tickets accidentally that have been using Passport parking in the downtown area, so more and more people are starting to use it. I think people that are coming from, especially over in the Twin Cities where it is more prevalent over there to use your iPhone for this type of situation, have been using it. I can definitely get a report for the next
Yep.
meeting if you're interested.
Yeah, we'd like to take I know it's not exactly, when did it finally get installed? Probably a month and a half, 2 months ago? So it's early yet.
So we basically have kiosk parking free.
Yep.
You don't have to pay any fees at all.
Okay. So is there a motion to approve the used meters?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second? I'll second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
No.
Okay. Motion carries. Any items for future agenda items? I'll move to, well, go ahead.
Room tax, that'll be on the next agenda. Do we want to start at 6?
Sure.
Next meeting, just because okay. I just thought because there may be more discussion, that way we're not pushing up. Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
I make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you.